Continues to be what's happening in Kolkata, where a postgraduate trainee doctor's heinous rape and murder at the RG Kar Hospital has sparked great furore. After 3 days of sustained pressure that saw the medical fraternity speaking in one voice, RG Kar Medical College principal Sandeep Ghosh resigned, only to be rehabilitated within 4 hours as the principal of Calcutta National Medical College. The health department appointed former Vice Chancellor of West Bengal University of Health Science, Surita Paul, as the principal of RG Kar, accusing Ghosh of trying to cover up the brutal rape and murder. Protesting junior doctors and students had since been demanding his removal, with the rider that he is not to be assigned any other administrative post in any medical college. Ghosh, who took charge in mid-2021, was shunted out of the hospital twice, but each time he was reinstated, the first time within 48 hours and the second time within a month. Known for his close ties to the state's ruling party, Ghosh is accused by many students and doctors of running the hospital like his personal fiefdom through threats and intimidation. There have been serious allegations of corruption and irregularities against him, leading to his transfer twice earlier, as I mentioned. Meanwhile, Kolkata High Court has now ordered to immediately transfer the case to the CBI. The court has asked the police to hand over all the documents to the CBI. It has transferred the case, saying that there is every possibility that evidence could be destroyed. The big question that we asked today: how can the principal step down and then be awarded with another job? If the principal is guilty, does sending him on leave qualify as action? If the principal is not guilty, why was he made to leave and then given another job? Why did a government council represent the principal in this matter? Is the principal being made a scapegoat to shift attention from the accused? Those are, of course, the big questions that we ask. We have with us Sanjay Sahai, former IPS. I also have with me Dr. Ranjana Kumari, Director of CSR, and we have Joyita Basu, Editor of the Sunday Guardian, with us in the studios. Joyita, I'll begin the conversation with you. Very murky details coming out as far as the running of the medical college is now concerned, where junior doctors are now speaking out against the principal, saying that he was running the place like it was a personal, sort of his company that he's running there, and there was a lot of threats and intimidation. That was the culture that this principal is now known for. He's been twice earlier transferred. We don't yet have the details as to what happened back then which led to his transfer, but the first time he was called back in 48 hours, the next time within a month, and this time around, when of course a heinous rape and murder has taken place on the campus under his watch per se, he's now been asked to resign but awarded with another job within 4 hours.
First of all, Devika, in Calcutta, in West Bengal, no one can become the head of any education institution, and particularly these medical colleges and the government run colleges and the institutes, unless and until that person has the blessings of the local ruling government, that is the Trinamool Congress. So this guy is more or less a man, a Trinamool man, and I am hearing absolutely horror stories about the tales of corruption that I am hearing, that there is a racket that is run by, of course these are allegations, but yes, it's very, it is being heard that there is a racket that is run by the interns who claim proximity to this guy, and these interns demand money for candidates who may have not passed or something, and they will take money and get them qualified and make them doctors, maybe for 5 lakh, 10 lakhs, that is the kind of money. And there are allegations of corruption about the money going to certain people at the top. So it's very, very murky. So you see, and that there are allegations of drug business happening in the RG Kar Medical College. So all this is all very murky. Now it seems everything has been running right under the nose of the principal. So why hasn't he done anything? So apart from the case, you see, the minute this case took place, there was a spotlight on whatever is going on in this particular medical college. And this is a very well known medical college, by the way, very ancient and old medical college, very reputed it used to be once upon a time. But what happens is this, with this particular, this heinous incident that happened in this particular medical college, now it is, we are, light is being shed about on the other murky things that go on in this medical college. If the students are to be believed, if whatever I am hearing from Calcutta is to be believed, horrendous things are going on. But the very fact that this man was appointed in Calcutta Medical College inside a few hours, that shows the kind of clout this guy enjoys in the ruling party. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been. And you see, if you look at it, all these days there was constant talk about Mamata Banerjee, I will give the case to CBI, I will give the case to CBI. So, these students were basically asking what exactly is going on, why are you delaying handing over the case to CBI, will the case be handed over, this is again I am going to mention, it is a student's allegation, will the case be handed over to the CBI only after all the evidence has been cleared up. Because you see, now what is happening, these students are not ready to believe that only this man was involved. Now there is, but then you do not know whether that is true or not. There is a lot of rumors doing the rounds of Calcutta that some big shot leader's son or somebody was involved in this case. We have no evidence of that whatsoever. But you see, what we need is that we do not have any evidence whatsoever about this principal's involvement as well, but it seems there is a groundswell of anger against him, the reason why he had to resign. Okay, and he was, but then Mamata Banerjee should have been more careful and ensured that this man was not appointed immediately, because at a time when the students are angry, what exactly are you trying to prove by removing the man they are angry with, by appointing him at another college, medical college? In fact, from whatever I know of Calcutta, RG Kar Medical College, and then there is this Calcutta Medical College. In the ranking of things, Calcutta Medical College has it's number 1.
Yes, okay. As per the reports, he's in fact been promoted.
Exactly.
By giving him the new position. But Joyita, doesn't that somewhere then sort of indicate that there is something that perhaps this man is also now, some secrets and some skeletons in the closet that this man is then perhaps aware of, the fact that within 4 hours the state authorities are so scared of him that they've reinstated him?
You say that is exactly the point. What does this man know? This is something the Central Investigating Agency needs to find out. What exactly does the man know that the Chief Minister of the state felt compelled enough to basically shift this man, to basically promote him? Why did she do that? So, the thing is that you see, while we cannot blame anyone of anything until and unless there is proof, but it definitely needs to be probed. What hold does this man have on the West Bengal government, on certain leaders? Why are they so scared of him? Why, or is it just a case of you help me, I help you, quid pro quo, you scratch my back, I scratch your back? Something is going on over here. Let's find out what it is.
Okay, all right. Dr. Ranjana Kumari, let me bring you to the conversation, ma'am. What do you make of the developments that have taken place in West Bengal? The fact that the principal who has stepped down, owning moral responsibility for what has taken place in the college campus, the heinous rape and murder that has taken place while he was, of course, in charge of looking after the students, he steps down and within 4 hours he is reinstated. The court expects that this man should be put on long leave until the investigation is complete, but it seems that as though the Calcutta government, as though the West Bengal government, has now given him a position in a college that is better ranked than RG Kar itself.
At least me, I'm not getting into any political slugfest. I just want to keep my focus on what really happened there. And what has happened is the most gruesome form of, rape and murder of a professional who was inside the premises where she is expected to have at least minimum, if something, safety. But that's not been ensured, and that's where the principal's responsibility comes. And if he resigned, I think he should have sent on a long leave before the investigation gets completed, because certainly when you are in a position of power, you can interfere with any kind of investigation that is going on. So I think that's extremely important. Number two, that if we are getting into, every time this is what happens, because the casualty is what is happening to women in this country. Never any party takes responsibility, never it's effort to blame the other one. If it has happened in Rajasthan, when a man has dragged a woman in his motorcycle on the street, nobody stopped him, then it is Rajasthan case. Then all the others will clamp on it. When it is in West Bengal, then it is Mamata Banerjee's this thing. I don't think this is the casualty. This is why there is a complete neglect of any kind of safety and security of women in the country. That is why there is complete neglect of any kind of punishment, severe punishment to so many people in so many cases. I can count many here which we heard as brutal, as bad, but no punishment was given. So I think eventually what happens with this kind of a conversation, even led by the media, even this kind of a conversation, is that the main thing people completely forget: who are these people? How did they manage to, punch her eyes, broke her collarbone, raped her, did all kinds of brutality on her body, and then how did they enter that space? So I think the police, now that the High Court has said that the case will be referred to CBI, I think government should have no objection in giving the case to CBI, so that people will know no local interference will be possible. And then all kinds of rumor. I also have been getting all kinds of messages from doctor friend from Bombay, from Delhi. All of them are talking all kinds of stories about who were these two people. There were four people. They are very high profile people. So if high profile person is a criminal, how does that matter? Why should state try to cover up if somebody is from a high profile? In fact, the punishment should be more severe and more fast tracked, so that country, where all these high profile so-called people should know that this is absolutely unacceptable in the country. You can't get away with this kind of a rape and murder. You cannot. And doctors who, all the doctors we met the doctors and they are saying we will not do any more night duty. What will happen to the country? What will happen to the patients in the country? Is anybody looking at all this? And finally, I want to also emphasize here that there is a protection of violence against doctors bill pending in the parliament. It's been going on and on and on. For so many sessions, we heard that the bill has been proposed. The delegation of the doctors are meeting the President of India. They met the health minister. Every possible thing they have done to get this bill passed. Why are we not passing this bill from the parliament? Why doctors' lives have been put to this kind of a risk? I mean, are we accountable people? Are we accountable government? Are we accountable, society? And also, what is happening to men? We must ask this question. I am so shocked and surprised that, the kind of mindset Indian men are suffering by and large. Every single case is where all these kind of ideas are coming from. How people are, rape, murder, and brutality that gets inflicted on women. I mean, are not worth a name of a politician who's getting by and saying that no, it has to stop. We have to punish the people. Why are we not doing this? Why nobody serious, senior enough coming forward as a politician and saying anything about it? They never say anything about it because they can get away with all this.
Right.
And we allow them by making it a political debate. I am not into any political debate. I am here for the dignity of women. I am here for protection and security of women and for respect for women.
Right, absolutely. I want to bring in Mr. Sanjay Sai into the conversation as well. Mr. Sai, what do you make of this latest move? As far as some of these cases are then concerned, what really is the accountability and responsibility of officials, of principals who are supposed to be in charge of students at the time?
See, first and foremost, the accountability part has gone mostly to the discussion part of it. The bureaucrat who heads might be the health secretary or the chief secretary. He remains completely unaccountable. And so are the political masters. And it is left to spokespersons and variety of other underlings who do the talking part of it. So if they are the people who call the shots, they are the people who should be held accountable directly or indirectly, and at least at the barest minimum. And I have been surprised since times immemorial and as a part of bureaucracy also, why the responsible people, they don't come on the media, they don't clarify things, they don't make things transparent. So this is at the level of the government, and we have also instances in West Bengal, not to talk about other states, where the chief minister of the state has gone to defend a senior officer to a level which is unimaginable. Now coming to the medical superintendent certainly has to be a blue-eyed boy. If you are not to be a blue-eyed boy, the nature of treatment which is meted out to him is certainly unimaginable for anybody who is just a medical professional. Now two things are very, very clear. One is negligence and second is dereliction of duty. Why a departmental inquiry has not been initiated against him? And if it goes still further, there can also be issues wherein he can be put in criminal charges can also be invoked against him. Taking it out from one medical college and putting him into another college which is ranked better than the current college. I think these are some things which the government will have to give a reply and waiting. See, what they do is in every case, they will take it to the judiciary and then they will tell you that it is the judiciary who has decided and we have to follow. At the back end, this medical superintendent also will be told because you have been asked to take leave. So you please go on leave as long as things settle, when the things settle down, you will be back in your saddle. So this is where we are. As far as the case is concerned, from a police officer's point of view, this is a close and shut case. There is every single medical evidence which is available at the scene of offence. If they have messed up with something, then I have no idea. Regarding crime against women, I think 15 days back, there was a campaign on one of the channels, Save Our Daughters. It started with the PG in Bangalore, then there was a case in Bombay, then there was a case in Delhi. I fail to understand how weapons, primarily it's knife or daggers or things of that nature, where people are able to smuggle on any and every campus in this country. If I remember correctly, I think 3-4 months back in the Neha murder case in Hooghly, that boy, he was able to get a weapon on the campus of the college. Then PG, there's a PG in Kormangla in Bangalore. There that case happened, and now lo and behold, I think the most tragic of it all is the current case. Where and what is their restroom? Doctors don't even have a restroom. How can we declare hospital to be not a safe zone? What is the nature of security which is being provided? Don't we have resources to provide security to these people? Let the whole management and the government explain today as to what was the safety mechanism, what was the security mechanism, what was the screening mechanism. After doing all that, if things have failed in 1 of a millionth chance, then okay, you can give a benefit of doubt, you can say that the system has failed. Here the whole system has not been put in place, so where is the question of not failing? We have been waiting for such incidents to happen, and that is precisely what has happened, and we are saying it over and over again. And the panelist before me, she was 100% right, that we are not getting into the root of it and we are into a political slugfest as if rapes in different states are different. And I think there is some legislation in 25 states with regards to the safety of doctors and all that. But there is no central legislation to support. Why can't there be a state security protocol and a mechanism for every single hospital in this country? Why should they allowed to be left to the wolves? So this is where we precisely are. So if you pick up each and every silo or each and every stakeholder, literally anything and everything is broken. And if we add up together, if you add up broken pieces, it can never be a complete piece. And this case should go down as something which we prove it as a model. Let the case be investigated in 10 days time, 15 days time, fast track court, and the whole process from the lower judiciary till the Supreme Court of India should happen in a very small span of time. We have just implemented or we have just put into operation a set of new criminal laws which
Yes.
are meant to transform criminal justice in this country. Do those laws and the whole enforcement mechanism, the mindset, the capability and expertise add up to providing a different sort of a justice? which we have not seen till 13th of June. Is it that way? Or the same thing goes on and we keep debating it in TV studios and variety of other places.
Right,
And the
absolutely.
doctors, if they're on strike, I think they should continue and hold the government responsible. Let the government come back. It will be like Anna Hazare sort of a thing, where government will come to them and it will beg them that okay, you please go and attend to your duties, and we will agree to every single demand. I don't think there is one demand of the doctors which is unjustified.
Right, absolutely. I want to bring in A.K. Dubey as well into the conversation. A.K. Dubey, I want to understand from you, the Calcutta High Court has also made its observations very clear on the matter. One question that they've raised is, why is it that the principal was being represented by a state government council, and also the fact that the principal resigned but then was reinstated at another college within a few hours in such a matter where a heinous crime has taken place in the premises of the college, and Mr. Ghosh is the principal of that college, the person who is primarily, as part of his duties, responsible for the security and safety of the students. What really then becomes his responsibility and accountability as far as this case is concerned? Why is it that he is being represented by state government councils, and at the same time, what really should be or is usually the protocol in such matters, that such a person, if resigned or put on long leave, should not be allowed to become in charge of another medical college?
No, because the state is patronizing this offense. Because I must say there is no rule of law but law of ruler, of course. These situations happened when the authorities which are responsible to take into consideration any offense which has happened, not only with respect to the woman, with respect to any common citizen of this country, the authorities immediately should resort that further violence should not happen. And the second, the perpetrators of crime must be accountable to law of the land. Here, instead of giving punishment, the person who has tried to just play with the evidence, who had just tried to glorify the offense and offenders, he was rewarded. Then he was making as an primarily he should have been given punishment. Third is the state government took too much time in how many matters we want that the court should come and court should interfere. Just remember, if there would not have been a nationwide protest, we have been sitting in Delhi, we would not have even known that what has happened. Thousands and thousands of people die. So real justice, what is the purpose of bringing BNS? BNS, when we talk, we say that it's a justice-oriented law. The justice must be meted out in a time-bound manner. Then only we can say, yes, we have come away from the Macaulay law. Third, the Justice Verma Committee's recommendation. What happened in 2013? In Nirbhaya case. Lot of things not has happened, but only 10, 11 years have just passed. Justice Verma Committee's recommendations have not been implemented in true letter and spirit. Is whose accountability is this? It's of course the government's accountability. Why Supreme Court or High Court has to come into picture always? Why did you see the remarks of the High Court? The Honorable Chief Justice was pained while making a remark that why did you register a case of unnatural death? In a case where the father is saying that he has seen that the injury marks on her left leg, neck, right hand, right finger, lips. She was bleeding from her eyes, mouth, private parts. And that despite that, the offense was just considered to be the suicide. So this is, of course, I must say, there is no law and the offenders are being patronized under the people who are there to maintain the law and order. See, the Honorable High Court directed for the CBI inquiry. Now,
yes,
if in a time-bound manner, inquiry is not completed because lot of time is. What is main ingredients in a criminal law is the evidence. Why the investigating agencies collect the evidences and why it is said that evidence should not be destroyed. This is the criminal jurisprudence. Each day, each minute is important in these kind of offenses, in heinous crimes, the collection of the evidence. What the CBI will see, what the CBI will do, because primarily the state police might have gathered certain evidences. How the CBI will prove those evidences which are not available or must have been destroyed by the time. So these are the things where we need a mechanism where each and every person who is responsible for negligence, He should be, because every day, every time in 15-20 days, often we discuss on the TV that this gruesome murder has happened, this gruesome rape
Yes.
has happened to the lady. But where is the mechanism? Where is the check and balance that we have to discuss upon? Either in the state of West Bengal or any other state. The thing is, the first, the Justice Verma Committee recommendation should be implemented. Two, the protection of women at the workplaces is the primary responsibility of the institution and the local governance and local police. Three, how the doctors or any other person, professional who is discharging duty day and night, 24/7, how that person will discharge duties if there is a fear. And just if there would not have been any nationwide protest, we would not have come to know what has happened there. So time has come where the accountability should be fixed, one, and in a time-bound manner, the perpetrator of the offense, including Dr. Ghosh, must be subjected to the judicial system, and then the decision must come in a time and manner. It should be publicized so that people should know that whosoever will commit this kind of offense, then the action will follow.
Yes.
There is no
Right.
action.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I've run out of time, but I thank all of our panelists for joining us. Meanwhile, a delegation from the Indian Medical Association has held a meeting with Union Health Minister JP Nadda today regarding the Kolkata rape and murder case. The meeting aims to address the concerns of the medical community. My colleague Manohar Kesri has had an exclusive conversation with certain doctors who were part of this committee that has spoken with the Union Health Ministry. Listen in.
कोलकाता बलात्कार हत्याकांड मामले में आईएमए का डेलीगेशन केंद्रीय स्वास्थ्य मंत्री जेपी नड्डा से मुलाकात किया और हमारे साथ आईएमए की एक्शन कमेटी के चेयरमैन और पूर्व प्रेसिडेंट डॉक्टर विनय अग्रवाल हैं। और सर, आपने जेपी नड्डा से मुलाकात की, क्या मांग रखी आपने?
देखिए, पहले तो हमने उनको अवगत कराया कि देश में मेडिकल प्रोफेशन आग में उबल रहा है और इस इंसिडेंट से, बंगाल के इस इंसिडेंट ने सारे देश को हिला के रख दिया है। मेडिकल प्रोफेशन, आप रोज खबरें देख रहे हैं कि कहीं पर स्ट्राइक पर है, कहीं पर मार्च कर रहे हैं, कहीं पर नारे लगा रहे हैं, कहीं पर हॉस्पिटल के सर्विसेज बंद हैं, कहीं पर इमरजेंसी सर्विसेज भी बंद हैं। और यही नहीं, दिल्ली जैसी जगह पे भी आपने देखा कि आज सारे मेजर हॉस्पिटल्स में स्ट्राइक थी। ये हमने उनको बताया। उनको बताने के बाद साथ साथ हमने बताया कि सर, ये कब तक चलता रहेगा। हम हर बार ऐसा इंसिडेंट होता है, आपके पास आते हैं, हम हमें एश्योर करते हैं और एश्योर करने के बाद फिर से वो सिचुएशन आती है। तो उन्होंने हमें एश्योर किया। हमारी 3 डिमांड्स थी बेसिकली। हमारी एक डिमांड, पहली डिमांड ये थी कि हमको सेंट्रल एक्ट अगेंस्ट वायलेंस दिया जाए। एक प्रोटेक्शन का एक्ट जो है डॉक्टर्स का, सेंट्रल एक्ट हो। 25 स्टेट्स ने ये एक्ट बनाया हुआ है जिसमें प्रोविजंस अलग अलग हैं, कहीं पर बेलेबल है, कहीं पर नॉन बेलेबल है। तो हमने कहा एक सेंट्रल एक्ट होगा विद कॉमन प्रोविजन, तो उसका डेटरेंट ज़्यादा होगा। दूसरा, हमने उनको कहा कि सेफ जोन, हॉस्पिटल्स को सेफ जोन डिक्लेयर किया जाए। जब हमारा मतलब था कि सेफ जोन डिक्लेयर किया जाए, जैसे पार्लियामेंट सेफ जोन है, उसके एसओपीज हैं, कितने पुलिस अधिकारी कहाँ होंगे, कितने पुलिस के लोग कहाँ होंगे, कितने सीसीटीवी कैमराज लगेंगे। आफ्टर पब्लिक प्लेस है, बहुत फ्रीक्वेंटली वायलेंस के केसेस हो रहे हैं। तो हमने कहा हॉस्पिटल शुड बी डिक्लेयर्ड बाय ए सेफ जोन। इसके लिए आपको स्टेट गवर्नमेंट में डिपेंड करने की जरूरत नहीं है। इसके साथ साथ तीसरा, हमने जो उनसे कहा कि इस पर्टिकुलर केस में डिसिप्लिनरी एक्शन सीबीआई, क्योंकि हमको विश्वास नहीं है कि जो बंगाल गवर्नमेंट है वो क्या एक्शन ले रही है, और ऐसा लग रहा है जनरल पब्लिक को कि वो एक आई वॉश है।
लेकिन सर, कोलकाता हाई कोर्ट ने अभी
मैं उसी बात हमने ही सीबीआई इंक्वायरी की डिमांड की थी उससे पहले उनसे। तो उन्होंने कहा कि इवन मेरे को भी पूरा विश्वास है कि सीबीआई इंक्वायरी होना चाहिए, और उन्हें शायद ज्ञान था कि हाई कोर्ट ने उसकी सुनवाई की है डिवीजन बेंच ने। तो उन्होंने कहा शाम तक देखते हैं कि क्या उनका वो आता है, एंड द सीबीआई इंक्वायरी। चौथी चीज़ हमने उनको जो कही, हमने कहा कि जितने भी एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव लैप्सेस के लिए जो भी अधिकारी इन्वॉल्व हैं इसमें, उनके ऊपर स्ट्रिक्ट से स्ट्रिक्ट एक्शन लिया जाए, ताकि एक कॉन्फिडेंस डेवलप करने की एक मेजर रहे और एक कॉन्फिडेंस डेवलप हो मेडिकल प्रोफेशन का। उन्होंने हमसे कहा कि अगर क्या इन डॉक्टर्स को आप कहेंगे स्ट्राइक के कॉल के लिए। हमने उनको बताया हम कॉल अप करने के लिए नहीं बोल रहे हैं। हमारी टीम बंगाल जा रही है, नेशनल प्रेसिडेंट और सेक्रेटरी जनरल बंगाल जा रहे हैं आज रात को। कल बंगाल में स्ट्राइकिंग डॉक्टर से मिलेंगे ऑफिसर से मिलेंगे, चीफ मिनिस्टर से भी मिलेंगे। आज भी हमने एक्शन कमेटी की अपनी मीटिंग अभी बुलाई है जूम पे, जिसमें सारे देश के प्रेसिडेंट सेक्रेटरीज हैं हमारी 1700 ब्रांचेस के, और उसके साथ साथ कल भी आफ्टर ये जो सिचुएशन होगी उससे हम अवगत कराएंगे और उसके बाद हम कोई डिसीजन लेंगे कि हमको क्या एक ज्वाइंट मीटिंग बुलानी है और एक्शन लेने के लिए। ये हमारे 4 मेजर डिमांड्स थी और हमने नड्डा साहब से ये भी रिक्वेस्ट की कि आपकी तरफ से एक स्ट्रॉन्ग कंडेमिनेशन और एक स्ट्रॉन्ग स्टेटमेंट इस इंसिडेंट पे जाना चाहिए। नेशनल हेल्थ डिस्ट्रिक्ट क्या बोला उन्होंने, ही वॉज मोस्ट ऑफ द इशू ही वॉज विद अस, ही सेड लेट मी टेक, बिकॉज इट इज 5 years gap when I was the health minister, he said let me go into it and I assure you I am with you, we are on the same page and we will take necessary steps in that direction.
Okay, thank you. Manohar Keshri, India News, Delhi. Now we have joined Dr. R. President of Indian Medical Association, met Union Minister J.P. Nadda on Kolkata issue. Sir, what did you demand from J.P. Nadda?
The main demand is to declare the hospitals across the country as safe zones. The safe zones should entitle for certain security measures under law. Unless those security measures are there, it will be difficult for healthcare personnel to work. The second is a central law against violence in hospitals against doctors, which is our demand for the past many years. There are 25 state laws, but no convictions on the ground. So it is very important to instill courage into the working doctors, especially in the casualties and ICUs, where the young doctors are posted, especially these resident doctors who have a grievance. They have been the mainstay in COVID during in the ICUs as well as casualties. So our second demand is about central law. So he said that there are certain limitations on central law, but he will favorably examine and then let us know. He will come out with a statement. He said the government is sensitive to the situation. The government is with the doctors. That much he said.
And regarding this CP, what is the actual assurance we will do within 5 months, 1 year, or what?
Even on the Central Act. Central Act, no, there has not been a clear assurance, but he said that he will favorably consider. And he will give a message to the doctors of the country. That I asked him. At the end, sir, what is the message to the doctors? He said that I will give my message to the doctors in my state.
Sir, are you going to Kolkata with delegations tomorrow? What is your plan?
We are going to Calcutta today night, and tomorrow we will with the other people who are on the ground. Our Bengal state, IMA is on the ground, protesting. So we will be visiting the place and studying the gaps in the administration which enabled this crime. And we will also meet the Chief Minister to apprise her of the situation.
Sir, all CODAs and resident doctors, all medical colleges are on still they are on strike. Do you appeal from that to call off the strike?
The minister appealed to us that convey to CODA to withdraw the strike because the institutions are suffering, which we will duly convey. But they have their own structures. They will have to take their own decisions in their general bodies. But we will certainly convey the message of the government of India to them.
Today, Kolkata High Court ordered about CBI inquiry, particular in this case. What's your reaction?
Because there were a lot of conflicts of interest. There were many rumors. Now that the CBI taking over by a judicial process is certainly welcome. All the stakeholders will be happy.
थैंक्स। मनोहर केसरी, कोर्ट न्यूज़ है। कोलकाता आरजी कार मेडिकल कॉलेज मामले में कोलकाता हाई कोर्ट ने सीबीआई जांच के आदेश दिए हैं। इस पर हमारे साथ बातचीत करने के लिए फाइमा के को फाउंडर और चेयरमैन डॉक्टर रोहन कृष्णन हैं। इनसे बात करते हैं। रोहन जी, आप लोग लगातार मांग कर रहे थे इस मामले में सीबीआई जांच के आदेश हों, सीबीआई जांच होनी चाहिए। अब कोलकाता हाई कोर्ट ने आदेश दे दिया है, सारे डॉक्यूमेंट सीबीआई को सौंपे जाएंगे, क्या कहेंगे?
ये इस वर्डिक्ट का हम लोग वेलकम करते हैं। ये बहुत ही अच्छा आदेश दिया है आदरणीय अदालत ने, लेकिन इससे हमारा प्रॉब्लम्स कोई भी सॉल्व नहीं होता है। ये वन ऑफ द डिमांड्स था कि सीबीआई इन्वेस्टिगेशन हो। इसके अलावा हमारे और भी डिमांड्स थे जैसे कि कंपनसेशन देना डिजीज़ के फैमिली को, उसके अलावा जो आरजी कार मेडिकल कॉलेज के प्राचार्य थे जिनके दरमियान ये इतने सिक्योरिटी लैप्सेस हुए हैं, उनको रिज़ाइन सस्पेंड करने की थी। उनके रेजिग्नेशन के तुरंत बाद भी उनको फिर से रीइंस्टेट कर दिया गया किसी और मेडिकल कॉलेज का प्राचार्य बना करके। तो ये रेजिडेंट डॉक्टरों को एक लॉलीपॉप देने की कोशिश की गई है स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के द्वारा। इसके अलावा हमारा डिमांड लगातार से बढ़ रहा है कि सेंट्रल प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट का जो डिमांड था, जो जब कोविड के समय इनैक्ट हुआ था और उसके बाद से ये आने वाला था पार्लियामेंट में, फिर वो किसी कारणवश नहीं आ सका। तो ऐसे में हमें फिर से इस बात को उजागर करना है और हमें केंद्र सरकार से पूर्णतया सपोर्ट चाहिए, समर्थन चाहिए इस बात के लिए कि सेंट्रल प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट को लाएंगी ये सरकार और ये रूल बनेगा, क्योंकि आए दिन हमारे ऊपर वायलेंस के जो इंसिडेंट्स हैं स्पेशली गवर्नमेंट मेडिकल कॉलेजेस में बढ़ते चले जा रहे हैं। ऐसे में फीमेल डॉक्टर्स नाइट ड्यूटी तक करने से मना कर रही हैं। अभी दिल्ली जैसे शहर में हर महीने 3 से 4 फिज़िकल असॉल्ट के कंप्लेन और केसेस आ रहे हैं। अगर गवर्नमेंट को इससे बेहतर टाइम और इससे बेहतर संकेत नहीं मिल सकता है कि सेंट्रल प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट लाना चाहिए।
लेकिन जो लगातार अभी हड़ताल पर बैठे हुए हैं, क्योंकि इंडेफिनिट स्ट्राइक पे हैं उन लोग, तो क्या सीबीआई इंक्वायरी के ऑर्डर के बाद आप अपील करेंगे कि वो लोग हड़ताल खत्म कर दें और अपनी सेवाएं देनी शुरू कर दें?
नहीं, जैसा कि मैंने कहा कि सीबीआई इंक्वायरी जो है वो एक डिमांड है। इसके अलावा जो डिमांड है वो है कि सेंट्रल प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट को लाया जाए। ये एक बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण डिमांड है और जो प्रिंसिपल पे कोई ऐसा एक्शन नहीं हुआ है, कोई फास्ट ट्रैक मैनेजमेंट नहीं हुआ है, तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की, बंगाल गवर्नमेंट की इसमें तो बहुत ही एम्बैरेसिंग सिचुएशन हुई है उनके लिए कि एक महिला मुख्यमंत्री इसमें बड़े स्लो डाउन मोड में नज़र आई। तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के भी जो डॉक्टर्स हैं उनका अगर डिमांड नहीं मेट हुआ है तो स्ट्राइक तो वो और अभी तेज़ गति से बढ़ाने की उनकी बात चल रही है, जैसा हमारे से उनसे बात हुई है। वो स्ट्राइक को और तेज़ और इमरजेंसी सर्विसेज को भी शट डाउन करना चाहते हैं। हालांकि फार्मा डॉक्टर्स एसोसिएशन ने इमरजेंसी सर्विसेज की कॉल अभी नहीं दी है। हम नहीं चाहेंगे कि एक भी व्यक्ति की जान खतरे में आए हमारे स्ट्राइक की वजह से, लेकिन जाहिर सी बात है कि यदि नेशन वाइड ये स्ट्राइक हो रहा है तो लाखों लोगों को परेशानी उठानी पड़ रही है हमारे वजह से। मैं ये बोलना चाहूँगा कि हम लोग खुद नहीं चाहते हैं कि ऐसा हो, लेकिन मजबूरन हमें ये कदम उठाना पड़ रहा है, क्योंकि अभी तक केंद्र सरकार और राज्य सरकार अपने कानों में रुई डाली हुई है, हमारी बात इन तक पहुंच नहीं रही।
देखिए, बिल्कुल कई दिन बीत चुके हैं और हड़ताल के भी 2 दिन बीत चुके हैं और कंटिन्यू तमाम मेडिकल कॉलेज हों, हॉस्पिटल हों, चाहे राज्य सरकार का हो या केंद्र सरकार को, लगातार हड़ताल जारी है। और जैसा कि डॉक्टर रोहन ने बताया, जब तक इनकी मांग नहीं मानी जाती है तो हड़ताल जारी रहेगी। मनोहर केसरी, इंडिया न्यूज़, दिल्ली।
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.